Nostromo teacher with one Alan Partridge "Kiss My Face" t-shirt.
That's good. That's good. But Alan Partridge, would win ordinarily, but Nostromo is Nostromo, man. It's difficult to beat. So I'm not sure. Hey, we seem to be online. It seems to be working. So wow.
Hello, everybody not listening.
Hi, everyone.
I mean, there'll be fewer people listening now that we're on the Monkey Tail thing. But hey, that's the way. That is the way the cookie crumbles.
This is the way.
Whoa! If you're watching the Mandalorian, it sounds like.
Yeah, I watched it a while ago. Dealt with. It's good. Like it.
Oh, okay. So I'm just, you know what? With all this, the opening question which you sent yesterday, when I got it ready, I didn't have a chance to research it, which I was going to do. So it's gonna be where is yours? There you go. Right there. All right, fine. Let's go. You guys ready?
Yes.
Fantastic. All right.
What's the question?
You're gonna hear it in a second. Funny enough, that's how questions work.
He won't have a clue. Ben's terrible at thinking of things short notice.
I can't do it on the fly.
You're worse than me, man.
There we go. I mean, I was gonna research it, and I completely didn't. So I'll go last anyway, so it'll be fine. All right.
No, I want to go last.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monkey Tail podcast. I'm your host, Bruno Pinto, and with me as ever, I have my friends here. I have Mr. Marius Dunkley.
Hello, people.
And captain of the boat, Mr. Ben Jenkins. How are you doing, sir? Yeah,
morning. I'm well.
We are on video, but we also podcast, so doing the salute, doesn't translate in audio. I can add the
I did answer in audio as well.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Very good.
Morning.
Good morning, guys. This is our first proper podcast of the year. By proper, I mean one where we do our normal standard features, which is that looks interesting, where we talk about the news of the last couple of weeks, the playlist where we discuss the games we've been playing, and then that looks interesting, which is where we add any suggestions.
So AOB bit, isn't it, really?
Well, yeah. And
we often have an extra rambling AOB, to be fair.
And then we have the rambling AOB as well. But we always start with an opening question, or at least we always try to start with an opening question. And today's opening question did not come from Martin, which normally like 98% of our opening questions come from Martin. This one comes from another M. Marius.
I had to pick up your slack, Martin, today. Had to pick up your slack.
And his question is, what's the best Easter egg or external reference you've seen in a video game? Marius, being that the question is yours, I'll let you answer it first as I think about my answer.
No worries. Well, this what prompted me. I'll explain the thing that prompted me the question, because I think it was a great little reference that I saw, not experienced myself in game, but in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I've seen that there is there's a tribute to Keith Flint from The Prodigy in there. There's a little side mission where you go and there's this bard playing music, and a bishop doesn't take very very kindly to his music, and the bard is called Keith, and he's got the like the negative Mohican haircut that Keith Flint has, and he's talking about things being an omen, and that he's not a tourist, which are obviously sort of names of Prodigy songs, and ultimately you end up beating up the bishop. And then this Keith character goes on to pen a song called "Smack My Bishop."
That's brilliant.
It's worth watch it online. It's funny. It amused me, and I was like, "That's a great little external reference, great tribute to Keith," and it made me chuckle, which is good. I also liked the some of the GTA Easter eggs, just because they're amusing. I remember there was one. I think it was in GTA 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 3. where I can't remember how you got there. Potentially, I guess using the Dodo plane, but you could get to this little sort of area outside the map. Whereas and if you did, there was a bit of a graffiti on the wall that just said you weren't supposed to be able to get here, which I find quite funny.
I know where you're talking about.
And there was another one in San Andreas on top of like the bridge that says something along the lines of I bet you thought there'd be an Easter egg up here or something like that, which amused me.
I love stuff like that. My answer, I got a couple as always. Well, to be fair, you did as well. I like obviously the Half-Life gnome, the gnome Chomsky, I think his name is. And
pretty sure that's twice already this year, but go on.
But I like it that it's obviously on Half-Life 2 parts 2, I think, but it's also on Left 4 Dead and other Valve games, and indeed in real life. Alex. And indeed in real life as well, because he's now been sent to space as well, which I think it's pretty cool. The State of Decay 2, a game I played quite a lot of actually. I think I played that game more than I realized. I think like 60-70 hours on it. Anyway, each of the maps, each map has 2 or 3 Easter eggs on it. One of them had the clown from It, the balloons were there. You know, the clown from the movie It, or the book.
Anyways,
yeah. So you can see that there's like
It. I thought you said Eat. Sorry, I was like, what clown from Eat? That doesn't make any sense. Right, sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, and there's the balloons there, and there's the drain thing. You can see it as well. But there's another one in the middle of a lake on a different map, where it's because obviously it's a zombie game, and there's 2 dead bodies on and it's like a Titanic reference because they're on the raft, but only one is there, the other one is drowning. So yeah, I like the State of Decay has quite a lot of Easter eggs, quite a lot of fun ones. Yeah, so those are my choices, top of my head anyway. Yeah, Ben, you had enough to I stole for you.
As Marius said, I'm rubbish on the spot thinking, but I will continue on the GTA 3 front. I suppose they're Easter eggs, but just the external references that were in that game to things like petsovernight.com was an actual website where you could theoretically go on and order your pets overnight. And just the manual that came with the game, and it just had adverts for stuff that's in the game, but there was also they made the effort to go in the real world and make websites linking back to the game. I like those little Easter eggs in the GTA. GTA series generally has been very good in that respect.
You just remind me, thinking of GTA 3, there was a real world Easter egg in there that was very specific, and an Easter egg designed only for 2 specific people. In that there was a track on there, I forget the name of their track now, a drum and bass track by a couple of producers that live in my town and went to my school. Nice. that I know. But it was an Easter egg for them because I told them about it. I was like, oh, I recognise you got a track on GTA. I'm like, have we? Because obviously it's just all done by the record labels. They didn't even know. It's like that.
Oh, wow.
Nice little Easter egg for you.
That's brilliant.
Very good.
I like that. No, GTA has always been good for those sort of out of the game experiences.
Very good.
Yeah, that's my vote today.
Okay, well, that I was going to do some research on this, and I so there you go. That's why I had to think on the spot there. But okay, let's move on to the part of the show we like to call That Looks Interesting, where we talk about the video game news of the past week. And I kind of, Marius, you want to talk about the Microsoft price yo-yo? Please explain. I know that I've heard some things about this, but I haven't actually been able to read into it myself yet. So what's happening?
Yeah. So within 24 hours, firstly, Microsoft announced that it was changing its Xbox Live Gold price, and they were putting it up. Not only were they putting it up, they were doubling the price. Out of nowhere, which like, yeah, I get, like, sometimes prices have to go up, but I think that was a ballsy and stupid move, and very much not in line with how Microsoft have been behaving, like
Yeah.
in terms of their offering on Games Pass.
Yeah.
So for them to do that, I think was an absolute complete and utter dick move, to be honest. Doubling the price of something overnight is a bit out of order.
Mhm.
And I mean, how they didn't think this was going to happen, I don't know, because like it's obvious people weren't going to be happy with that, and obviously the internet went apeshit and said this is ridiculous, not happy with this. So Microsoft have now, like, they've turned from assholes into decent people, because they've gone, okay, yeah, fair enough, we shouldn't have done that. And now they not only have they said we won't be increasing the price, they're also now allowing free to play games. You don't require Xbox Live Gold, which you used to before. So now things like Fortnite and stuff like that, people can play online without having to purchase Xbox Live Gold. But for me, it was just interesting because it was so out of character from how Microsoft have been with their Games Pass offering to have just suddenly whacked the price up by double. And just makes me think, what were they thinking? In what world did they not think people were going to be well unhappy with that?
I'm gonna go throw my 2 cents into this, and this is the first I'm hearing about it. Like I said, I've seen a few news cycles. I think this happened recently. So I've seen the news cycles, but I haven't really been able to really do some research. But this is what I think is happening here. Obviously, their Game Pass Ultimate service, where I think it's about £15 or something like that a month, where they do Game Pass for PC, for Xbox. They do Xbox Live included, and they have EA Access and a few other things, and Disney Plus, and they're throwing a lot of things into this service. I think that's obviously they're pushing that. We all know that they've been pushing that for a long time, and they've been doing great work on it. So I think what somebody somewhere decided, okay, fine. What to push people to go for that, to make it a no-brainer even more than it already is. Let's raise the price of Xbox Live so that no one would go for that. They only go for the Game Pass. So I think that was the thinking, and I think Xbox Live is going to go anyway. I think that's
it will just become Game Pass. Yeah, it'll just be part of Game Pass. I absolutely, but just do that.
Yeah, I think that's
what you want to do. Just do that.
I think that's what they were trying to do. They're not, because the price, if it doubled in price, it would have been in line with what Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is, more or less. Anyway, so why not go with that? So to me, it sounds more like it was just that. Yeah. So I think Xbox Live will go, and it's fine. And by the way, it's great news that they reverted that so fast, and that they've allowed free to play games to be able to play them without a subscription, which is something I don't think Sony does either, to be fair.
So they do.
Oh, they do now.
I was going to say,
yeah. Microsoft were the only ones that weren't allowing it. They're the only ones that were forcing payment.
Can you use the PS? Can you use the PS like chat and everything on those games? Oh, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know that. I don't know about that.
Well, anyway,
you could play the games online without having to pay.
It's a good thing that they've done that. Okay, fine. That is good news. It's a bad news, good news situation.
It is a bad news, good news story, definitely.
I have one which is it's kind of like two, or three into one.
Good. I'm glad.
But it's great. It's Disney. It's Disney. You know, Disney. Everyone loves and hates Disney as well at the same time. So they had a 10-year agreement with EA for EA to publish Star Wars games. You guys probably know that. That 10-year agreement ends in 2013, but it looks like they've ended it earlier. They probably, I don't know, see this all behind closed doors, but I'm assuming that they've.
I don't know that they necessarily have to end it earlier, because I think they can start developing other games. They just wouldn't be able to release other games until after it's ended.
Quick pub quiz for you. How many EA games do you think have came out in those 10 years or 8 years until now?
EA games or EA Star Wars games?
EA Star Wars games.
Yeah, it was 3, wasn't it?
EA
3.
Star Wars, no, 4. Yeah. I think it was 4. That's 4. It. Yeah, you guys were close. Yeah,
and 2 Battlefronts, Fallen Order, and Squadrons.
Squadrons.
Yeah.
That's the other one. And I played all of them apart from Squadrons, and I can tell you that only one was really good, and that was the Fallen Order one. I think the other ones. Oh, well,
it was good, really good.
Okay, fine. Okay, it's no KOTOR. So what they've done is they first of all they brought Lucas Games back. So they brought Lucas Games back, and Lucas Games are going to be overseeing all of Disney games. So Star Wars, but also some of their old IPs. More on that in a second. So anyways, so now they're going to allow different studios to do Star Wars games, starting with Ubisoft making an open world Star Wars game, which I'm excited about. Okay, so that sounds exciting for me. Yeah, so I want to, but more exciting than that even is Bethesda, or the studio that did their studio. I forgot the name.
Machine Games.
Machine Games. That's right. That's the one that did those games you like that I'm forgetting the name of.
Wolfenstein. Yeah.
They will be doing an Indiana Jones game, and that excites me because we haven't had an Indiana Jones game in a long time, and
it has been a while.
That excites me even more than a Star Wars game. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, it does. I think it's more interesting because it's like, look, someone tells me Ubisoft open world Star Wars game. I'm like, yeah, I already know what that is. Brilliant. Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Exactly.
A Indiana Jones game done by the Wolfenstein experts. I have no idea what that's going to be. Are they going to keep it first-person shooter like they used to? Are they going to go and just do Uncharted, but with the proper Indiana Jones license?
Yeah.
Are they going to go back to like the point-and-click Indiana Jones adventures? Like, what the hell is that going to be? No idea, and it's very exciting.
Which one do you want? Do you want a Uncharted or Tomb Raider clone with a proper license, or do you want a first-person like experience? Indiana Jones.
I actually want the one that would be most disappointing for you, and I want the Don't Nod style Walking Dead adventure game.
Oh no, that was not like that.
Yeah, I know. I knew you wouldn't like that.
But does that not already exist?
Probably does.
Not for Indiana Jones, I don't think.
Actually, I mean, I do think that would be a good way to go. But I would like to see. I don't think it will be, but I'd like to see someone attempt a first-person indie game. I don't quite know how they do it, and I'm not entirely sure it would work. So I don't think they're going to. I think we've seen Uncharted, we've seen Tomb Raider. I don't know if it's just a bit more of the same, just with indie. I mean, indie will make it good. Just having the music will make it good. You know what I mean? But
I mean, John Williams. I think it's any game where his music is on. I think he automatically ups it by 20% straight away. Game. Yeah, like if the game was a 7, goes up to a 9 straight away just with his music.
Yeah.
And it's going to be not Indiana Jones. It's going to be Indiana Jones at his
not pensionable age.
Yeah, at his prime. So the one that gets bored and just shoots the guy rather than fight him. That indie, which is the one obviously I want to see. So yeah, I'm excited for this. Now, if I can bring it quickly back to Star Wars again. Obviously, Ubisoft are doing that open world Star Wars game, but like I said, Lucas Games will allow other developers to do Star Wars games, obviously on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
So question is, two questions. First question is, pick a studio and you want to do a Star Wars game. And second question, pick an old Star Wars game you want to see a remake or a sequel. See, there's two questions there, but it's Star Wars, so I don't care. So if I can start, if you want, if you want some time to think.
I mean, I can give the random weird answers that we always give. I mean, I could say Kojima because that's obvious, but no, I'm going the other way. I'm going with Team Eco.
I knew you were gonna say that.
What do you mean, like fucking making friends with the Rancor and wandering around the Star Wars universe, sending your Rancor out to go and eat people? Sounds alright to me.
I want Supergiant Games to do Star Wars games. Is it?
Yeah, that. Okay, hold on. Do you actually mean Supergiant Games, the Bastion people?
That's it. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
So I want isometric roguelike Star Wars game made by them. That would be fucking awesome. Okay, so that's my answer. As for bringing back old IPs, I mean, obviously the answer is KOTOR, but is it? Because I would like a New Republic Commando, like a proper good one, or
yeah.
so that's the ones I would like bringing back. Bring a Republic Commando back again, or do KOTOR 3. Go on, give it to Bethesda. Let Bethesda do it. I know it was BioWare.
Janky as hell.
No, actually, tell you what. Actually, no. I'm gonna second. No. Just came to my head now. Obviously, KOTOR was done by BioWare. Everyone knows that, right? KOTOR 2 was done by Obsidian, and it was a great game, by the way. Who does Microsoft own? Obsidian. I'm gonna second. We onto something here. KOTOR 3 made by Obsidian. Yes, please. Thank you. That's the one I want, actually. Yeah. Just they made the second one. That was great. So make the third one. Go for it.
But who would own the license to KOTOR now? Is it Disney owned because it's Star Wars IP, or?
I actually don't know the answer.
It's complicated, probably.
Yeah. This is probably why we won't get one.
It depends, because these sort of things are not straightforward. Often it might be like obviously Disney owns the Star Wars name, but it could be that BioWare own the specific rights to KOTOR the game. It's who knows who actually owns it.
Call it something else. Like Obsidian has just done Outer Worlds, and it was essentially Fallout in space. So get Obsidian Star Wars, but make it somewhere else. Maybe don't make it 3, but make it a game in the style of KOTOR, because those KOTOR and KOTOR 2 are my favorite Star Wars games, bar none. I mean, nothing even comes close to how good those two are, and I'm including the second one in it as well. The second one is that good. I guess the only thing that comes close to it, as I said, is Republic Commando, which is also really good, but that's really low down compared to how good the other ones are.
I'd like to see a reworking of like the SNES 2D platformer Star Wars games.
Yeah, no, that would be good. I'm sorry, guys. Now I cannot stop thinking about Supergiants making a roguelike Star Wars game. I kind of really want that as well now. So Ben, what's your answer? Have you? Oh, we've lost Marius. What's your answer, Ben, for your?
Well, first, I didn't quite hear the question originally because of interference, but Star Wars is just not an IP that I have any interest in at all. So I like Supergiant. I like roguelikes, so I'll go with that.
You copied my answer.
And I'll also parrot that Knights of the Old Republic is probably one of the only and the best Star Wars game that I've ever played. So yeah, I have no answer for that, because there's a million and one Star Wars things that have already been done. So, and I've not played half of them. So
okay, so my final question on this before we move on is to Marius only, because you just said you're not a massive Star Wars fan. Marius, do you want the games to be on the Skywalker saga, or do you want them to be in the Star Wars universe but get away from the Skywalker saga?
Get away. I think it's well overdone now. Like we've already had probably 6 more movies than we actually needed.
Yeah.
So no, I think get away from that. I don't mind having like cameos and stuff from some of those characters. I think that's quite nice, but I think we should get away. Maybe a young Yoda. Thing. Yeah, let's see what Yoda was up to like 600 years ago.
Isn't that what Baby Yoda's all about?
No, not even go there. Not even go there, mate. Not even go there.
Fair enough. I'll stay out of it.
That triggers me so much, calling it Baby Yoda. Dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Not you, Ben. The people that said that before, calling it Baby Yoda.
I bet you're happy you got a name.
Absolutely. I literally sheared. I jump off my sofa and go like, yeah, get in there, motherfuckers. Call him Baby Yoda now. Yeah. So stupid. I mean, not only was it was dead by the time the Mandalorian is on. That's for starters. Yeah. But they're like, oh, but it could be his son. But even if it's his son, you don't call him. That's not what I don't go and call Steph Baby Marius, do I? That's not how things work.
All right, Bruno, just breathe. Just breathe.
Right.
Move on. Let's talk about what we've been playing.
That sounds like a great idea and a great segue. Thank you very much. Let's talk about what we've been playing then. I'll start if that's okay. There's obviously January games don't come out. I think Hitman came out, but not many games come out in January. So I was like, hey, let's play an older game. So I was looking at my games and I said, yeah, Dead Space. It's been long enough. And by the way, it has, because I think I've only actually finished it once, the game. Or sorry, I've only played it once. I think I've maybe finished it twice back in the day, but
You've only played it once but finished it twice. That's very clever.
no, I've only played it in one period. So I finished the game and then I finished the game, then I played it again to do achievements.
Right.
But
Okay.
I didn't go back to it 3 months later or 6. It was all within the same the same period of time. So yes, because obviously I think when I played it, I think no, I think my first playthrough ever of it was just with the plasma cutter. But then I wanted to try the other weapons, so I played it again with the other weapons to see what they were, and then I realized the plasma cutter was the only thing I needed anyway. And anyway, so I started playing Dead Space, and I've actually done a YouTube series on it. I'll link it on the show notes if anyone wants to have a look at it. But I started playing it, and I decided to do the whole thing with the plasma cutter, even though there's no achievements on Origin. I said, I need to do it justice, and I just ignored all the other all the other weapons.
It's the best way to play, anyway.
I mean, I love the fact that with the plasma
You
cutter,
don't need the other weapons.
that's right. With the plasma cutter, you can do the vertical or the horizontal or the vertical change. So because as you know, Ben, I don't know if you played That Space before, but
Yes.
you have, okay. To dispatch the enemies, obviously you need to take their limbs off, and depending on how they're running at you from the ceiling, from the side, etc., you need to adjust your weapon so it cuts through their limbs easier, and it's so satisfying. That game is 13 years old now, yeah, and it still plays so well. That game, I think they don't make them like that anymore. So I'm gonna say, because I had so much fun playing that game again, and in terms of horror games or survival horror games like that, obviously that's Resident Evil 2, which is a great example of it recently, but they just don't make them as good as that anymore. And the music is great. I mean, the music is better than great.
The sound design in that game is phenomenal.
Yes,
just in general.
and the little heariness, like the little you hear, like the voices, like laughter in slowly, and you turn like, what the hell is that? Like laughing, and then and you hear like one of the aliens be behind the door or something, and you go, like he knocks on the door, you're like, oh shit, oh, the door is closed, it's fine. You turn around, there's one there attacking you. They proper know how to scare you. And because I'm playing on PC and because it's an old title, I was able to obviously slap it up to obviously everything on high, 120 hertz, ultra wide. And by the way, I know I've always been a big supporter of ultra wide, but more and more, especially on older games, that game lends itself so much more to the ultra wide aspect, because it really brings you in, and it makes you feel, obviously not like playing in VR, but makes you feel more part of the experience. You just you see things coming at you on the peripheral, which even scares you more. That game is aged really, really well, and yeah, I liked it so much. I finished it, and I started the second one. And by the way, the second one is equally as good. So don't worry, I'll still play the third one and probably be disappointed by the third one. But the first and second are just amazing games. And that's the two games I've been playing. It's Dead Space 1 and 2. Yeah. You guys...
I must go back and play it. It's been one of those games that I haven't finished, but it's always been on my pile of I'll go back to it. And watching your stream the other day, I was like, yeah, this is a great game. It needs to be revisited. And I think I said before, it was when it first came out is when I first got my first proper surround sound system. So cranking the sound up with the speakers, and like you say, back in 13 years ago, with stuff creeping behind you within a video game, it was too scary at that time, and I think that's why I didn't finish it. But
yeah,
I will.
I don't. Maybe I was different when I was younger, because 24, 25-year-old Bruno played that game without breaking a sweat, and now I'm like, bloody hell! Like, why wasn't I scared of this? But it's really reignited my love for the survival horror genre, which I've always liked anyway. I mean, my game of the year a couple years ago was Resident Evil 2. but so much so that I want to keep it going. I want to keep my series going on survival horror. So I'm doing Dead Space 1 and 2, and it's nearly done that. I'm gonna do the third one, and then I've actually downloaded, it's installed, and the one after that, I can announce it now, is Resident Evil 7. That's the next one I have ready to go. Unfortunately, I have the Microsoft
You
version.
want to borrow my PSVR and a copy of it? I mean, you can do it in VR if you want to be scared. But if you don't, then I understand.
I would absolutely take you up on that. The only problem is I wanna do the YouTube series on it, and I won't be able to record on the PlayStation. Otherwise, I will take you up on that. But now I'm gonna do the Resident Evil 7 on the because it's on Game Pass. Now I understand that Game Pass you can actually play some certain games in VR, and I'm a bit confused because I know Marius is doing the face like interesting. I heard it on another video game podcast, a very good game podcast, the DLC video game podcast. I recommend that to anyone that likes games. It's nearly as good as ours. Actually, it's a lie. It's a bit better. But anyway, and Tetris Effect. Apparently, you can play it in VR. You can play the VR Tetris Effect. Marius is on the keyboard as we speak. So I need to have a look because if I can play it in VR, I promise I will. But if not, it'll be an ultra wide, and I'll be obviously doing. Oh, Marius is he confirming or denying it? Oh, he's confirming it. He's confirming.
Well, Game Pass for PC now features games that offer optional VR support, meaning that players can download and play VR titles available on Game Pass. Well, Dirt Rally 2, I'm back in. Yes.
Hey,
That's probably got me back into Game Pass because I cancelled all my subscriptions whilst I was unemployed.
Yeah.
You don't need them, but now, yeah.
Okay, I'll do this away from the cast, but I'll send you a link. You can buy 3 months of Game Pass for like £15. And then once you've installed once you redeem it on the Microsoft Store, he asks you, do you want to put recurring billing on, and you say yes, and they give you an extra month, so you get 4 months for £15. So I'll send you that. I know you don't like your those things, but that's a good deal. 4 months.
That's cool. And yeah, especially if I can play. I was thinking that there's they've just released gameplay footage for Resident Evil 8 or Village, as I think they're calling it, and that made me think I might have to go back and replay Resident Evil 7 myself. So
yeah, but let me just say, I'm not sure if Resident Evil 7 is available in VR because I
don't think that's available on PC. I think it's
anywhere.
Yeah.
But games that are VR games on Game Pass, you'll be able to play them on VR now. So
I've done it in VR though. I think I'd be quite happy second playthrough to do that.
I mean, I know VR is obviously more immersive, but like I said, don't knock the ultra wide. It's the Dead Space experience has been phenomenal. Honestly, those games are just amazing. Yeah, that's all I've been playing. So let's move over to you guys then. We'll start with you, Marius. You've been playing Gato Roboto. Is that a mechanical cat?
Not far off.
Because gato means cat in Portuguese. That's why I was asking.
Yes. So this is a short little Metroidvania game. It's just monochrome, just black and white. Very simple, sort of pixel art graphics. And so essentially the setup at the start, much like a Metroid game, you end up crashing your spaceship on an unknown planet. But you crash it as a result of the cat. The cat actually crashes the spaceship, and in the crash, the human pilot gets stuck in the wreckage. So he has to send the cat out into this planet to try and rescue him. And the cat soon finds a robot mech suit. So for the rest of the game, you mostly pilot around a mech suit as a cat. And there's sort of evil mice in there that you have to fight. You have their own mech suits and things like that. It was just really, really enjoyable little Metroidvania. I think it was, again, I say this a lot, but it was just perfect size. Like sometimes I find with there are a couple of things that annoy me with Metroidvanias. They're often too big and sprawling and take far too long to do, and working out where you need to go is sometimes difficult unless they have excellent maps. This solves both of those problems in that it was only 4 hours long. And the map is great. It's very grid based. It shows you if there's rooms that you haven't found, even if they're secret rooms, you can see on the map where any secrets might be. So it's just a case of getting to that area and working out how to get in there. So like in those 4 hours, I finished it at 97% completion. And I obviously missed something in one of the rooms. I wasn't going to go back for it. But really good, quite amusing. Little Metroidvania. I liked it. I think there was some weird, like some bosses don't have health bars, and that sort of annoyed me. Like they seem to switch. Some of them did, some of them didn't, and I think some of the boss battles went on a bit too long, and that sort of annoys me when you just don't know how far away you are from completion of the boss. I sort of like to know, certainly in that type of game. But yeah, highly recommend it. It was on Game Pass, so.
Oh, that was one of my questions. No, that sounds awesome. I might actually just go ahead and download that. Yeah, because Game Pass has come up with some really good games actually recently as well. But, well, I say recently. They kept the thing going for a while now. They Control is on Game Pass now, for instance, and that's a fantastic game.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a good game. Yeah, and there's one called Donut Country on, which I know has won lots of awards. So
yeah, I fancied that for a while. It's always been quite expensive for what it is.
Yeah, it's on Game Pass now, so I've downloaded that. I'm gonna give that a go. So
yep, sounds like I might have to get back into Game Pass.
Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. But quickly on that, so just two things. You mentioned small or short Metroidvanias with great maps. And straight away, I remembered Shadow Complex. That's a great example of a not too long with great map. And when it comes to cats in video games, I know this is, but we're on the playthrough area, not on the that looks interesting. But actually, I think it was a minute that showed it to me. There's a game coming out, but from Annapurna Interactive called Stray. I just
yes.
Go and have a look at the trailer for it because it looks phenomenal.
Is that the cyborg cat?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Looks fucking amazing, that game, by the way. So I'm really excited for that. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that, on A, robotic cats, and B, the short Metroidvanias. Right, let's go to Ben now. You've been playing Gran Turismo 6. Is that the latest one?
Yeah.
I never know.
No, it's not the latest one. It's almost 2 removed now. Yeah, you may recall I had a trophy on Gran Turismo 6 that my hard drive failed. Long story short, over Christmas I thought I'm going to dig out my PS3 and fix it. Turns out I couldn't fix it, so I spent a day or so tearing it apart and then reflowing the solder and everything. But so I bit the bullet and went back to an old save and just basically played through the last S rank licenses, which going straight into a racing game to then try and get the S license on a Gran Turismo is a bit of a steep learning curve. There was a Bugatti Veyron around a really twisty track. However, I have got to the point where I got that license and now I'm just doing the stupidest trophy in the world, which is to drive the total length of the Autobahn, which is 7,600 and something miles. Now I've completed the game, got most of the stars through, and I finished off at 3,000 miles. So it's been 2 nights of leaving the game running with an elastic band around a loop track.
Why?
Trying to do this.
What? Yeah, I second Bruno. His head in his hands. Like, what's the point? What is the fucking point? You're not even playing it. You're just using electricity and depleting the resources of the planet for absolutely no fucking point.
No, there is a deeper reason for it. I did want to play a racing game, and that has been playing on my mind for a while. And I had some time off, so I thought I'll fix my PlayStation. But no, my main reason is to get the platinum trophy for it, because I've said to myself that I'm not going to get PS5 until my trophy level is at 400. Now, again, trophies are whatever they want them to be, but it gives me the incentive to go back play the games that I need to go back through again, which like Dead Space is one of them. Metro, I want to go back through. Deus Ex, Human Revolution, all games that I want to replay to get the platinum. So it's kind of a clean up mission. Stroke. Why not?
I'm waiting for the PlayStation 5 to be in stock for me to get it, rather than any trophies.
So this is why I thought I'd just give myself a goal. I
PlayStation 5 is the trophy in and of itself.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
But to say all that, Gran Turismo 6 is a good driving game. It's not a particularly great racing game. The AI is not very smart, and it feels dated. I mean, obviously, racing games, they're usually the forefront of graphical fidelity and all that and the other. It still looks great, but it's a good driving game. There's been better racing games.
Mm-hmm. No, that's okay.
I'd heard enough about Gran Turismo 6.
I do want to say just touch quickly on the playing old games. I'm all for going and playing old games, but I'm also a firm believer that you should play old games in the best possible way. And when I said definitely go and play Dead Space again, I mean get it on PC so you can get the higher frame rate. No, I don't think
there's no trophies on PC.
I know that isn't, but see, I made my own trophies. I played the whole first Dead Space with the plasma cutter because I know that's a trophy or an achievement, and in my head I got it because I played the whole game like it. And I was, like the same way I played Resident Evil 2. The remake without using any of the sprays, because even though it had no effect whatsoever, I'm like that's the way I've been conditioned. But anyway, okay, that's Gran Turismo 6 on the PS3. Fantastic. Marius, let's go back to you now. You've been playing the Pathless, which is, I think, is an porno.
Yes,
easy for me to say. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a new iPad in the house, so you get 3 months free the Apple Arcade.
Yeah.
So expect my games list for the next 3 months to be full of Apple Arcade. Well, actually, it might not last 3 months. I might get bored of it before then, to be honest. But so Pathless was one of them. So cranked it up on the iPad. You played it, didn't you, on your Apple TV?
I did, yeah.
And I know you said it was my sort of game. I mean, first of all, I would say do not play it on an iPad with touch controls. It's very, very, very bad.
I have a follow-up question about the controls. You can connect your PlayStation controller to iPad.
Yes.
Okay, good. Carry on.
but you didn't let me finish.
Because the touch controls are so bad, you connect to your controller.
Fashion, yeah. And what I would say is just the absolute, because I wasn't sure if you could connect to a dual, and I certainly wasn't going to buy a specific pad just to connect to my iPad. Not going to happen. And yes, super easy connection. Took a few seconds to connect. Really easy. Much better. I still don't think it controls great. I don't think the jumping is good. I do like, so it's like a big sort of, it's an open world game. You play a woman with an eagle running around. There are loads of sort of archery targets. I do quite like the shooting the target, so that sort of builds up like your stamina meter, so you can move around faster if you keep shooting the targets. And there's no aiming there. It's just a matter of hold the trigger for a few seconds. It auto aims on a nearby target, and just going around the level, finding sort of old buildings that have sort of basic puzzles in there. You have to push things, pull things, get your eagle to put a weight on pressure pads to unlock a thing that you need to collect, and then move on to the next one. I was quite disappointed by it, to be honest with you, and I think my biggest problem was essentially the name sums it all up, and it is a bit pathless and it's a bit aimless, and it's not very clear where to go. You are just wandering around looking for another building. You can sort of see them through your like I don't know, special vision, whatever it's called. The buildings that have eagle vision or something, probably. No, Assassin's Creed's got that. They probably have to call it something else. Yeah, I just found it a bit aimless and a bit like I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just wandering around, a bit lost sometimes, and I didn't like the sort of jumping controls. So yeah, like you say, it felt very much like it was a game for me. Turns out it's not.
Yeah, so the reasons I stopped playing it was slightly different from yours. I tried it on my Apple TV, and the Apple TV I have 4K Apple TV. It's been out for I think 2 or 3 years. I think it's due a new one. Their processor on it is good, but obviously they probably need to come up with a new one with a more with a newer one of the newer Bionic processors they have. But the reason I stopped playing is because Apple are very much they're an interesting company when it comes to games. They pretty much said it needs to be 60 frames. It needs to be 60 frames, which is fine. I applaud them for that. But then they're like, okay, fine, you're gonna get like fucking 1480p or something on your, and I was looking at it, and it didn't look nice to me, especially when I was looking at on YouTube and seeing the game in 4K ultra wide and all of that, and looking beautiful. I'm like, oh, if I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna play it like that. So let's face it, it's gonna be free. It's gonna be free in some in one of the services at some point. That's why I stopped playing it. But based on what you said now, I might not actually go back to it now. Then if
I wouldn't recommend it. I don't. It's
yeah,
it just it didn't click for me. Hey, maybe it would if you go back and play it again, but for me, it just didn't click.
It's true.
Some people have been
go on.
Some people have been talking quite highly about it. Both games.
Yeah.
It's obviously available on other platforms. But some people have been saying that, yeah, it's a really, really fun sleeper hit sort of thing. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's just a mobile game. And from what you're saying,
it's not just a mobile game. It's on PS4.
No, but it looks
on PS5. Sorry.
Yes, but it looks like it's one of these games that's been ported, and it's just like, well, swipe around the screen to get to where you want to. And it sounds like there isn't a huge amount of content.
No.
I don't know. I think that there is the content there. I think it's about a 6-hour game, so there's plenty to do there. To be honest, Ben, it's probably right up your fucking street.
Yeah, this is the thing. Like,
that you would love.
Initially, my thought is, it probably is one of these sort of sit and just aimlessly wander around games. But I'm still undecided, and yeah, I'm hearing very polarizing views. So I think I'll wait.
Yeah, some people seem to sort of like it more than I have, but yeah, it's just not for me. But hey, not all games are for everyone.
But yeah, what I want to say, it's not a mobile game first. It's a PC.
No, I know that.
It's a PC
but
game.
It looks like it is.
It's what I'm saying. It doesn't. So I'm saying if you go, and I know he's saying you probably if you go and
I know what Ben means in terms of the style of the game. It's the sort of game you expect to see on a phone.
Yeah. It's kind of
not in terms of the visuals necessarily. Just it does look
simple
and
control,
indeed
simple
feel.
Mechanic, it can be done on a touchscreen.
It does look and indeed feel like a phone game. I understand what you're saying there.
Fair enough. That's yeah, okay. It looks better on PC, of course, but yeah, I think the simplified controls. I see where you're coming from on that for sure. Fair enough. All right. So what have we got now? Let's go back to Ben with Abroxia. Hey,
Abroxia. Yeah. It's a double platinum game. It's a side-scrolling shmup made by Lilymo Games, who is now partially owned by Colin Moriarty of ex-IGN fame, and they've got a couple of games out. Abroxia is the first one, and it is just a simple side-scrolling shoot 'em up. Pretty simple, 15 levels, nothing too strenuous. Couple of pickups as you go along. Weapons get more powerful. Initially, it started off quite not difficult, but it's like, I can see where you've got to progress, level up your ship, and then come back and do level 1 again. But within a couple of hours, I platinumed it on the Vita and on the PS4. Nice little game. Nothing to report really. But Abroxia 2 is coming in a few weeks or months, which again I'm guessing it's going to be much the same. But again, I was in the mood for a small pick up and play zone out game. I happen to have that. and I was playing on the Vita again, which is always nice to get that out. So yeah, nothing really exciting to talk about on that one, to be honest. It's just a game that I have played and completed twice.
Okay. That sounds.
It was either that or no games at all.
No,
so
that's okay.
don't give me that look, Marius.
What look? What look?
Marius.
I gave
Marius. I was gonna say. I was looking at my phone. I was doing the. I was conscious that I wanted to, because I think you on your peasants internet you have there or something seem to have a bit of a delay. So whenever I think you stop talking. So I'm giving you extra time to make sure that you are finished before I jump in. That's all. So that's why I was hesitating. Nothing more. You've also been playing Walking Dead Michonne.
Michonne, yeah. So Sophie and I have been watching the Walking Dead series, which I still don't know how it's got to season 10. And I'm up to the point of where it's dropped out last time I watched it, and it got a bit weird. Apparently it gets good again. However, the Walking Dead Telltale games sort of sit along, obviously not directly linked to the TV show at all, but Michonne is a main character in that. So it's back on the PS3. I think they did a three-part sort of spin-off series with Michonne. It's okay. It's a Telltale point-and-clicky. Get through to the end. The story's okay. You're sort of stuck on with Michonne and a couple of people that are probably familiar from the comic book series, not from the TV show. And yeah, it's just another little side story of the Walking Dead universe. It's okay. The graphics are janky. The animations are janky. It's exactly what you'd expect. Nothing special. Nothing to report really. But again, that's what I've been playing, so therefore it's on my list.
I have no comments to the game part of it. I quite like the first Walking Dead. It's in fact I think the first Walking Dead is a very good game. Yes. But I have comments on the Walking Dead series itself, where you said I don't know how you got to season 10, and I'm a big fan of the comics, the graphic novels, the Walking Dead, and if you read them, you can see why you got season 10, and because it's good throughout. When it comes to the Walking Dead series, I think I've watched the TV show until maybe season 6 or 7. I think maybe 8 even, but then it got really bad. But the thing is, it got bad after season 1. Season 1 was done by the guy that did the Shawshank Redemption, and the director from that, Frank Darabont. He kept it, the first 6 episodes, pretty much shot for shot of the book, of the comic, of the graphic novel, and it was brilliant. And then they changed they got rid of him, got somebody else in to come and do, because they wanted more gore, they wanted more more stuff like that. And it's slowly from season 2 it started.
It started to slump, and that's where I dropped off last time. We're just at the end of series 6 now, and I'm feeling the same. I'm like, this is where I stopped watching, but I'm intrigued to find out where it goes to get back to season 10.
And I promise you that the better way to do it is to get yourself an iPad and get a tablet and read the graphic novels, because they are so much better than the show. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, I have read a fair few of the early ones. Obviously, back when The Walking Dead was quite still the rage sort of thing. But now it's just an entertaining program, and I like to finish things, as you know, be it straight away or 6 years later. But I'll see where The Walking Dead ends up.
That's fair enough. Right, let's carry on then. Now moving on to Marius. You've been playing all of you.
Yes, another Apple Arcade game. This is a little puzzle game that I really liked for the first 53 levels. It's so you play a hen, and you have to go and collect all of your chicks, essentially. So each level is made up, so there isn't a full display on the screen. The scene is made up. You just see like there's circles on the screen. So and they are all essentially paused until you click on the circle. So like you'll be in the first circle, you click on it, and then the chickens just automatically starts walking. So as an example, like one of the early levels, the level's made up of 3 circles. In the middle there's like a TNT dynamite thing, so you have to press play on that one first for the TNT to explode before you can then move the chicken safely past it. And then it gets sort of more complicated. There's some where you can flip the circles to change direction and things like that, and there's other ones where you can swap the circles between each other. So again, another cool one I liked had you land on a snowball, so you're rolling the snowball along, and you have to keep flicking it so you can roll it along enough to build up the size of the snowball so you can get up higher, and was really sort of cleverly done. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Again, very classic sort of phone game, but a real good puzzle game. I quit at level 54 out of 72 just because it involved some bullshit timing that was ridiculously tight, and if you don't get it right, you just had to keep doing it again and again. And it's like it was that tight, it turned almost more into a game of luck rather than like the other, like when the timing's not involved so tightly. It's figuring out how to do it and then executing. But this was just like it was just so tight, it became not fun, so I ditched it at that point. But if you've got Apple Arcade, it's definitely worth a go. I really enjoyed it up to there.
Okay.
How long have you had the Apple Arcade back for? Is it just the last month?
I've just started this week, I think.
Oh, this week, yeah. And that'll be interesting to see, because I obviously subscribed to it for a bit, and it the content wasn't refreshing enough. Sort of
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
is it still the case now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, look, to be fair, I think I've got a stack of like 10, 15 games off there that I wanted to, that I thought looked interesting and worth a go. Some of them and there's already been a couple of others that I've played that I won't be talking about because I played them for like 5 minutes and realized nope.
Yeah.
I think
there are a lot that was still from when I was on it before, like a year
It's still
ago,
there.
or that are still there. And yeah, I like I said, I don't know that there's even 3 months of stuff to keep me happy there.
Yeah.
It's not something I would continue paying for me. I just wouldn't.
No, I think there's a couple of things there. I think most of the games are made specially for Apple Arcade, so they'll stay there anyway. So it's not like they're gonna. Some of them are on rotation, but a lot of them are gonna stay there as in permanent stays. I also think Apple Arcade is not for us. It's not for us. Apple Arcade is a great service at a good price for the parents that don't want their kids to keep doing microtransactions on games and this and that, and just here we go. There's this flat fee. There's all those games. Go and play on your iPad or play on your phone. It's it's for my mom, that plays lots of games but doesn't. So it's not necessarily for us. Having said that, they have some great games there. Up to
there are. I think there are some absolute classics on there. There are some really good games from my previous experience, and it's just nice. Like, I fancied some different gaming. I didn't necessarily want. I've just put like a lot of hours into Ghost of Tsushima, and I didn't necessarily want to be sat just glued to the telly all of the time. So playing these smaller, simpler games, and like just being able to pop through and not really paying too much attention to them, but like still like being able to like watch something on telly while you just dossing, like, with these little games, I think is quite good.
One of my things, I don't have New Year resolutions. I don't do that. But one of the things I wanted to do this year, if you like, is I want to be a bit more positive. Try to be more positive with things. So I actually want to try Ghost of Tsushima. So and I'm gonna forget about the wind. So Marius, can I borrow your copy of Ghost of Tsushima?
Of course you can.
So I can give that a go, because certain things was putting me off, and I'm like, why? Let's just try the game because it sounds like you certainly enjoyed it, and obviously Ben also enjoyed it quite a lot. So I want to give it a go if that's okay. Right. Let's move on to the last game. I've never heard of this one. Spyros the Dragon. Which one is it?
Spiros. It's a Greek translation game. No, Spyro the Dragon Remastered. I think someone's talked about it before. Marius, maybe. I'm playing through the first game as it stands at the minute. So to speak to that, it's Spyro the Dragon. It's 3D platformer. It's a collector stuff. Nice and easy. Very chilled out actually. I'm really enjoying it. About halfway through in a couple of hours. It's not as long a game as I thought it was from back when I was a child. I'm sort of well over halfway through in just a sitting or two now. It's a really good 3D platformer. The remake is really, really good. It looks great. Controls very simple, basic. Square to attack, circle to fire, attack. Different enemies around the level will either need one or the other to be destroyed. Collect the gems, save the dragons, finish the level, move on to the next one. Yeah, there's not much more to say on Spyro than that one. I'm looking forward to playing the Spyro 2 and 3, which is also in the trilogy, because I don't think I played too much of them when I was a kid. But my understanding of it is that the gameplay and the controls are pretty much the same all the way through all three games. Yeah. So long may it continue until I finished it, I suppose.
And I haven't played Spyro in a long time. I would actually like to give the HD the remake a go. But no, talking about the controls, absolutely. I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot on Dead Space. Obviously, I finished the first Dead Space and I started recording literally straight away. Slapped the second one on and pressed record, and off I go. They changed the reload button. They changed.
So annoying, isn't it?
They changed so, and I'm like, "What's? I've just finished the game, and now I have to relearn."
Relearn a whole new system.
Did you find the same thing?
Uncharted did it, and I think was it not last year, the year before. I played through all the Uncharted, and they bloody did it. It's just it's fine when they're released 5-7 years apart. It's no problem, is it? You don't notice, but when you're playing them back to back, it's like, oh, it takes half the game to get used to the new.
I mean, the stasis, so the guys are coming in. Sometimes they're too fast. You go stasis and then cut them. Yeah. But I'm like, stasis. Oh no, that does nope. That's not that's no longer stasis. He's on top of
If you do end up playing Ghost of Tsushima, then you might end up dropping your horse every time you try and get on it. That's something that I've found. Again, simple control. Why not keep them? Just get on a horse.
Just wanted to bring that up. But yes, on Spyro, yes, it's a game that I would like to try again. But like I said, I said it earlier, and I said it again. You need to be careful now. Not be careful, but you need to consider now. Do I need to buy this now, or I'm okay to wait because it's going to be on Game Pass, or it's going to be on Epic, or it's going to be on somewhere else. I saw Resident Evil 3 for I think about £15 at the moment on Steam. And I'm thought to myself, £15 is actually a decent price for that game. I think, I want to play it. £15 sounds like a good deal. And I nearly pressed the buy button, but then it stopped me. I'm like, hang on a second. Surely this is going to be on Game Pass like in 3 months, or something, isn't it? So that's that. So unless it's something you really want to play, like I really must play this now, just wait because it's going to be on one of the services.
Yeah, Spyro was on sale over Christmas, and I think it was 18 quid for the trilogy. So
okay. That's cool. All right, but that's the playlist, and we move on to the last part of the show. And we had a lot fewer problems today, which is great. So I'm saying this now as I realize as I realize I have not been recording, so I'm gonna have to. That's fine. Don't worry. I can get the audio from YouTube. But I have not been recording, so that's fun. But other than that, and you guys dropped out a bit. Other than that, it's been okay. So that's good. So let's move over to the last part, and hopefully, cross fingers, nothing goes wrong. And that's the part of the show we like to call "Why Don't You?" And this is the part of the show where we give you a recommendation of something to do, watch, listen, eat, whatever. Anything for you to do over the next couple of weeks. And I'll start with a podcast called the podcast is called Bill Gates and Rashida Jones Ask Big Questions. So this is a podcast that's available anywhere. it has, as the name suggests, Bill Gates and Rashida Jones talking as the hosts. It's only 6 episodes long, and it really is them discussing the big questions that are in the world at the moment. And the best thing about it is because it's Bill Gates and because he's got all the money and all the influence. First of all, it's produced to death. It's like really solid podcast, but also he gets the best guests in. You know, if he wants to get he gets Bono on one. If he wants to get Anthony Fauci, you know, he can get anyone in he wants to talk. And it's like I said, he just talk about big things like what will the world look like after COVID-19, and is it too late to stop climate change, and a few things which I find interesting and important to me, and can people really change? Some of the topics they have on their show. In fact, there's only 5 episodes long. They're about 50 minutes long each of the episodes, but they, like I said, they're really interesting, and they're two really interesting people talking about their views with really good guests as well. They come in and talk about those topics. So yeah, that's Bill Gates and Rashida Jones Ask Big Questions. Fantastic podcast. That's my why don't you? So Marius, you want to talk about Center?
Indeed. Center, CENTR. So I have recognised I haven't really been exercising or doing anything for a while, and I felt the need that I needed to get back into doing some more regular exercise. Like in first lockdown, I was quite good at it, but part of that was because of the job I was doing. I wasn't very busy, didn't have much to do, so I could fit it into my day a bit more, just through the day. Whereas I can't do that now, and so I needed something to sort of focus me a bit, and get me doing, like, change the exercises up, things like that. So I was looking for some like an app or something, just for some. Whilst I know, through my martial arts training, I know lots of exercises to do, but it's not quite the same just doing it yourself. Like, I think having some sort of guidance or a set routine that's like put together by someone that knows their shit, is really beneficial. So Center is an app. It's done in conjunction. It's got Chris Hemsworth, or is like his name is, he's like the marketing draw for it. So it's obviously like he's in some of the videos doing some of the routines, and it's got obviously like lots of different trainers on there for all sorts of different, like one dude that I really like his like functional training, so it focuses like just on strength and sort of mobility as well, which are really good. Like he trains special forces and stuff like that. It's got people that do train up stars for movies and things like that. It's got like yoga teachers in there, lots of stretching exercises in there. It's got like sleep visualization stuff, meditation stuff in there. So and you can say sort of what you're looking for, whether it's just fitness, muscle gain, or whatever, and then it'll put different plans together. I got it on a 6-week trial, so I think that's a pretty good. I would say don't go through the app. When I went through the app on the phone, it only offered a 7-day trial, but if you go through or certainly at the time, maybe it was because it was in January and they had a sale on, because I think I did get a discount as well if you want to carry on. So I do recommend go through the site. But so that's the fitness part of it. But I think that the thing that's actually even better than that is it also puts a meal plan together for you. So again, depending on what you're trying to achieve, it puts through meal plans. So that's 3 meals a day plus like a post workout sort of smoothie or something like that. And the meals are really good. I've enjoyed every single one so far. They're really easy to make. They're dead straightforward. Obviously pretty sort of healthy, so I'm probably eating better than I have done for some time. Although I'm not doing all of the meals every day, I'm just doing the sort of evening meal, because with working and having Stephanie to sort of cook those 3 meals a day is a bit much. But they're really good, really nice meals. Also, you can set up a shopping list from those, so you tell it what meals you're having, how many portions, and it gives you a shopping list. Not only that, it puts the shopping list, so like all the things that are in the dairy aisle are all together, so it doesn't put the list together in a rat. So if you're actually physically going and walking around a supermarket, it's got all the things together, so it makes it really easy. And that's the main thing with this app, it just makes everything really easy to do. So it makes exercising and eating well really easy to do. I'm very impressed so far.
Question. First of all, that's not the way you should go and work for them, because you sold it to me as it happens without even telling me the price. That sounds interesting. What's the price normally anyway?
I got it for, it's 90 something quid for a year.
Okay.
And to be honest, I'd pay that just for the food bit.
No, that sounds great, and I'm definitely gonna look at it. I am out of shape completely, and I do need some exercise.
Yeah, I know.
And the one thank you. And the one I tried actually, but then I had an issue with it. So I need to go back to it again. But I've actually tried the Apple Fitness, the new Apple Fitness app, and it's brilliant. But because it uses my Apple Watch. So literally the Apple, I use my Apple TV, so I have the exercise, the routine on TV. So I'm copying what's happening on TV.
Yeah.
But it detects my heartbeat and everything, and it tells you, oh, you're slowing down.
Yeah, I don't have an Apple Watch, but I do believe you can link that to the Center app as well, and it works in conjunction with that. I think my only, not necessarily complaint about it, is just the nature of how it is. I'm only doing workouts with no equipment required because I don't, and I think to get the best out of it, you do need a bit of additional equipment like some kettlebells or dumbbells and yeah, a few weights and things like that. I think that would increase what you get out of it, or need access to a gym that you can go and do the exercises whilst at the gym. But yeah, whatever, love it.
But I tried it, and I put, okay, let me just start easy because I'm a bit out of shape. So I put the beginner thing, and it was like for OEPs. It's like raise your leg, do this, and I'm like, this is boring. And 10 minutes and nothing happened, right? Then I was like, okay, let me put something more intermediate. And this guy comes in, dreadlocks on, let's go, do this, and I'm trying to keep up. 10 minutes later, I'm like drenched in sweat. I'm dying. My heart is going like, do you want us to call 999? You know. Honestly, it was. I was like, bloody hell! Nearly killed my. Millie was absolutely laughing her head off. Like that I was so out of shape. I think if she tried it as well, she would have struggled. Oh no, she's saying no, she wouldn't have struggled. She would have been fine. No, I am gonna try. I do want to try Apple Fitness again because of the Apple Watch connectivity, and because it's the ease of use, because it can be on my TV, and I could be like, I can see it. So in the big screen, I can see it what's happening, and it's obviously it can keep. He has my heartbeat on the TV, and he knows if I'm losing pace or if I'm keeping pace up with it. So I like that, and he does have the same thing. You can do it with because for instance, I got a rowing machine, so there's rowing machine exercise. I can just put my rowing machine ready, and the exercise will be to do with the rowing machine, and so on. I also got Beat Saber and a couple of other. I haven't tried it yet. I need to. A couple of other. One called Power Beats VR, which I'm definitely going to review on the next podcast. So I do have some. I think it's fun if you gamify your exercise. For me, anyway.
Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
And I'm even looking at. I haven't got it, but I'm really interested at the moment in the Ring Fit Adventure for the Switch because it just looks fun. It looks fun.
As far as those things go, it does look fun.
Yeah, so I might give that a go. It's like 60 quid or something, and I'm like, that's the game, isn't it? So hey, why not? Maybe I'll get that as well to give that a go. But yes, exercise is very important. So all of those, especially the way you saw that, you should go and work for them, man, for Center, because
I'll work for them. No problem.
You sold it to me. I'm definitely 100% gonna at least get a trial and
yeah, it's worth it. Yeah, absolutely worth it, at least for that.
To give it a go. And Ben, what's your why don't you McDonald's, guys?
I don't know. I haven't got one. I've not consumed anything other than what I've talked about. Play some old games. There we go. Dead Space on the PlayStation 3.
No. Play.
was shown-
No.
Play old games on
No.
new
Yeah,
consoles.
Dead Space on the PlayStation 3. I
No,
agree. Yes, everyone
no.
played Dead Space on PlayStation 3. Go ahead. If you can get the PS2 version.
That's not a PS2
Have,
version.
have you seen?
No.
There's a couple of videos of people putting Cyberpunk on the PS2. It's just little fucking stupid videos, really. But I'll send you one. It's quite entertaining.
It's not entertaining. I've seen it.
It's not entertaining.
I've seen it,
But
but
no,
I
I've
seen
nothing
it, and I
interesting.
didn't saw it on purpose. I was having a shower, and I had a video on like YouTube, and then he finished, and he came up with that like so I play. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch that. People that do that, yeah, don't deserve views because it's so stupid. It's not hard.
Oh no, it's stupid.
They record.
But some people believe it as well, which is even stupider.
What happens is, Maris, they record the startup of Cyberpunk, pressing start and starting the game. Yeah, record that, put on the DVD, put it on the PlayStation, play the DVD, and PlayStation comes up. Then the Cyberpunk thing comes up. Oh, look, we play Cyberpunk on the PlayStation. Kill yourselves, guys. Honestly, what's wrong? What's wrong with you guys? Honestly, what? Come on, who are you kidding?
But
Anyway.
play some old games on new hardware. There we go. That's my vote.
Play some new games. Absolutely, play some old games in the best.
Old games, new hardware.
In the best hardware you can play them. Absolutely, go and replay your favorites because Dead Space. Now after I replayed Dead Space, if we were doing a 10 games of the generation 10 games of ever, I think Dead Space would
look at Adam's list for old games to play now. From last
I don't know
episode.
if Adam has played Dead Space. Maybe Adam, if he hasn't, maybe you should.
Maybe you should, Adam.
Also, I'm gonna
It's
say
a good
something.
game.
I'm gonna say something controversial, yeah. But Dead Space is better than Alien Isolation, and I'll tell you for why. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with the story, nothing to do with the setting. They know the pacing. They got the pacing right, and Alien Isolation does not get the pacing right at all. It's like a great experience, and then it's like, ooh, we're gonna drag this for another 10 hours before you get to know. And Dead Space knows exactly what they're doing. Like boom, 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 boom. Just knows exactly how to hit every single point, and that's why I prefer Dead Space personally. Not that Alien is a better game, a bad game. It's just that, but pacing is very important in video games, and Dead Space got that in spades. So there you go. On that bombshell, I'm gonna end the podcast. I have been Bruno Pinto. Nope, you guys.
Who are you pointing to?
You guys don't. Any of you? I just realized that I just realized the flaw in my thing. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try again. Okay, I'm gonna try again. All right. I'm gonna do the ending again. Okay. I'm gonna do the ending again because I'm gonna cut this off and put it again. First of all, if you like anything we talked about here, give us give us a subscription. Subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. That's the first thing you can do. Tell a friend. Also, if you want to give suggestions of opening questions or why don't use or video game news, you can do so by sending us a message on Twitter or indeed by sending us an email to podcast@monkeytail.co.uk. And yes, I am going to leave it there now. I have been Bruno Pinto.
You can't point to the screen where there's two people on screen.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
No. I'm trying again. I'm trying again. When I point, I want Ben to go first.
Okay.
And then Marius after. Okay. I've been Bruno Pinto.
I've been trying to leave this podcast.
Yeah, I've been confused about how to end the podcast.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.